Hi, my name's Simone Pedersen. I'm from Red Scout. I'm the founder and managing director. What we do is we consult to beauty brands and beauty retailers in terms of strategy and implementation, but also we've got a really interesting online learning and face-to-face learning side of the business as well. So I wanted to scale the learning side of the business, and I knew to scale the learning side of the business, I would need assistance with that, because with that, there's a lot of detail and there's a lot of work that needs to be done in terms of building the back end of the platform. So what I decided to do was to engage with Virtual Elves so that I could find someone who was really detailed and fabulous to give me a hand with that. The reason why I started with Virtual Elves is that I really loved the opportunity of flexibility with my VA. And flexibility meaning that I could start small in terms of the number of hours, because I brought her on board just before we were starting this project. So I knew I wouldn't need her, um, as many hours until we actually built up and ramped up the program. So the interesting thing is we started off with 5 hours a week, which was great. But we very quickly then started to move forward to 10 hours, and I think now we're almost doing 15 hours a week. The recruitment process was super simple, and what I did was, and probably the hardest part actually, was listing what I really needed from my VA. So I went through that and I did it as detailed as I possibly could, not only for what I need her for now, but what I may need her for the future. And then once I handed over that information, it was so quick and so streamlined in that I got presented with a couple of CVs that matched the profile of the person that I was looking for. And then I went through those CVs. I picked out two. I only actually ended up interviewing one person, and she's the person that I chose. And I really liked her, not only for her skill set, but I loved her optimism. I loved the fact that she was a little bit more mature than some of the other VAs that I'd seen. And I just felt like we were a good match energetically, and we would work well together. Look, I think in terms of the expectations, I wasn't really sure because I hadn't ever worked in this way with a VA before. But one of the things was that I really did watch very thoroughly the onboarding videos so that I knew what I needed to do and how I needed to prepare to bring on a VA. And I think what I really did, and I think the best thing was to set up regular catch ups. So every day, and we still do this at 12 o'clock, we have our huddle. And we work through very clearly and concisely what needs to be done for the day, but also keeping in mind the bigger picture for the week and also for the month and months ahead in terms of what we need to create. Look, it is early days and we've been working together now for a number of months, but it has totally impacted my business in the most positive way. And how that is that I've been able to set administrative tasks for my VA to complete, which I would have normally done. And she takes those on board and she runs with them, which is amazing. So what I've been able to do is to work now on my business, on recruiting more clients, on putting together proposals, on doing the networking and all the things that I love doing with my business, and also overseeing the projects, but I'm not necessarily working on the day-to-day of the project. Look, I haven't really had any major challenges. I think, combating and kind of being proactive in terms of the way you work with your VA was probably how we've circumvented any challenges happening. But I think the key things that I've learned are it's really good to give feedback. So let them know when they're doing a great job. So I've given lots of great feedback to my VA because I think she's just so great and so on it. But also being able to give feedback or constructive criticism when you need to be able to give them a different way of working or moving forward. But I really honestly haven't had any major challenges at all with my with integrating my VA into the business. I knew that Virtual Elves would be different to working to getting, say, a VA locally here in Australia, and the reason for that is that I just love culturally how the Filipino teams approach their work, and they really do value the relationship that they have with you. They really, really want to do well and to be able to exceed your expectations. Through the interview process, I got to meet Abby, who's my VA, and we got to talk together, and I could just tell from her energy and the way she responded to questions that she and I would get along really well. And I think that's been a really important factor in terms of not just having someone who's there, who's just doing the work for you, but someone who you can actually really make a good friendship with or a good relationship with. And whilst we have a professional relationship, we also have now a friendship as well. So it actually is really rewarding to know that she's well and she's happy and she's, excited about what we're doing together professionally. But I also know that from a personal point of view, she's getting a lot of satisfaction out of what we do together. For anyone who wants to get a VA or is thinking about getting a VA, I would say go for it. Like, don't hesitate. Give it a go. The team that Virtual Elves have are just really, really great, well qualified virtual assistants who are keen to get involved with the businesses. So I think give it a go. I wish I had done it earlier. And that's my only regret, that I hadn't done it earlier, but I'm so glad that I did give it a go and it's worked out fantastically. I think the collaboration with Virtual Elves will evolve in the future. And, as my business grows and there are different opportunities for different roles, I'd love to be able to expand that with perhaps even having more VAs that help me in the business. So I'm completely open to that. And I think what will happen is once we define what those roles look like, we'll find the best suited VAs to work on those particular roles.